And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Tuesday, February 7th. I am Josh Engleman, here to break down a 6-game NBA slate for you guys. Didn't go well yesterday, so good riddance to Monday. Let's get to Tuesday as fast as possible, and let's also hit that like button as fast as possible. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. That is where you'll get your updates to my sims as we get closer to lock. Any content that I'm putting out, general quips and funny stuff, that's where you find me, at Josh Engleman. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Good to have everybody here. Good to have everybody here. Yeah, got the coffee cups, got the good mornings. It's going to be a good one. Yesterday was ridiculous. Shouts to Andre Drummond. Hell of a day there. I needed to avoid Jason Tatum having a big day. Not that that would have made much of a difference for me, but it was looking really good for a while. And then I opened it back up again, and he had 60 fantasy points. Don't really know when that happened. Kind of annoying. If you were paying attention yesterday, you would have seen that I debuted my new prize picks video. We went 3 out of 5 yesterday. Very, very close on the 4 of 5. Just missed on Şengün. I mean, I had a ton of Şengün in DFS, so that one just didn't work out for me all that well. But 3 of 5 is not a total loss. You'll take what you can get. 60% winners. That's all we could really hope for. You know, if you knew that you can pick 60% winners at prize picks, you'd be in very, very good shape. And I picked 60% yesterday. So let's see if we can keep that momentum alive. Bot nuts. I'm not trying to say that Adam and I were all over that, but we talked about it on the show yesterday, how he looked good. Now, that is the number one outcome for it. I'm not trying to take any credit, but we talked about it with Alex Caruso being out, that he was stepping back into the rotation as a backup center. Now, do we expect 40-something fantasy points? But we talked about it on the show. Yeah, it's ridiculous. He had a ridiculous day. But the path was there. Now, I wish DeRozan would have had a better day, because that would have helped my props. We'll talk about that at a later date. For now, we're going to get into it. I got my coffee. Hope you guys do as well. New creamer for today. Try not to make fun of me for it. We'll see where we end up. Went for brown sugar oat milk creamer. Been really getting into the oat milk lately. I don't. Should I call it oat water? It's not milk. It didn't come out of the teat of the oat plant, whatever that would be. I've been doing a lot of oatmeal lately post-workout. The protein oatmeal. Mixing 2 of those together. Add a little oat milk into it because I like my oats extra oaty. But brown sugar oat milk creamer seemed like it would taste really good with either my chocolate collagen powder, my vanilla. Both of those feel like they're going to go really well. So, okay. Team oat milk in here. I like it. I like it. Not that I have much of an issue with dairy. See, like, I can't do the almond milk. That one's not for me. I generally am allergic to almonds, not in any sort of like, if I touch one, I go into shock type stuff, but they do make my throat itch. So anyway, coffee's here. Nobody gives a shit about what milks I like. Cheers to you guys. Rise and grind, baby. We are here. Another good Tuesday morning. We're going to clink it up. Let's find out how this stuff tastes. Okay, it's not bad. I need to use a little bit less than I did, and I need to make the coffee a little bit stronger than I did, just for more coffee flavor. And I think that's going to be a good balance. I think I knocked that out of the park. I'm going to be happy with that. We're in good shape. Anyway, let's get into it. First and foremost, top of the screen, bottom of the screen, you guys see it. BetMGM is the sponsor. 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum and up to $1,000 in first bet insurance. As long as you sign up using the link in the description, it is an absolute no-brainer for you folks. Make sure you're taking advantage. Now, let's keep it moving. Boom, boom, You guys know the drill. Here we go. The New York Knicks, 1.5 point favorites in Orlando, 226 total for the Knicks. We have a Q tag on RJ Barrett. That guy screwed me over on Sunday by sitting out after lock. Really fun stuff there. I'm going to assume that he's not sick any longer 2 days later and that RJ Barrett is going to play, at which point I'm probably not going to touch this rotation. That's interesting. Makes no sense. Yeah, so I'm not going to touch this rotation. We kind of know what they do. I got the 38 in for Brunson. I got the 37 in for Barrett. I got 28 in for Quickly. Quentin Grimes plays about 35 minutes a night. You get that split at center between Jericho Sims and Isaiah Hartenstein. You get Obi Toppin playing whatever minutes Julius Randle doesn't play. So I'm leaving everything that I have in here for New York. I don't know why I would want to make a change, and I don't. And all the rates can stay the same. This is a team that has been pretty set in stone with this starting five. So I feel pretty comfortable making no changes to the New York Knicks. Orlando, I'm sure, is a different story. Chuma Okeke still out for a bit. Mo Bamba still suspended for a bit. Definitely want to know what was said in that exchange with Rivers. Oh, man. Just realized I never put my watch back on. So normally in the 6 to 6:30 stretch when I'm sitting here, I'll put the watch back on and I'll step around the office for a quick minute, wave my hands around so that I can get credit for standing for this hour. But I'm not going to get that now, unfortunately. So big mistake on my part. What are you going to do? We go to Orlando. So I think we're going to get what is become a relatively normal Orlando rotation. Was that a suspension? Was 2-5-23 Magic box score. Am I forgetting something obvious? Oh yeah. Okay. So Suggs was suspended, as I thought. So I was wondering why Caleb Houston played. So we know what kind of rotation that we're going to get here out of Orlando. They played 9 guys. Well, they played 10 guys on Sunday, and I think we're going to maintain that 10 guys. But now Caleb Houston will go away, and Suggs will be back in. Now I'm going to reproject this starting lineup just to make the minutes work better, just because I don't trust this team all that much. But it's pretty easy to handle. We get Wendell Carter Jr. in for 29 minutes. We get Markelle Fultz in for 31. We get Gary Harris in for 26. We get Franz Wagner in for 33. Paolo Banchero in for 34. Then I take a sip of coffee. Now, Wendell Carter and Mo Wagner split the 48 minutes on Sunday. They also split the 48 minutes on this past Wednesday, which means Mo Wagner is just going to get the other 19 minutes at center. And then we're going to give John Isaac his 11, which will then let us get Bol in for 16. Feels about right. You get Jalen Suggs in for 20. And then finally, we get Cole Anthony in for 21. And we are done with Orlando. Now, rates I don't need to change, but I wanted to make sure that I had those minutes correct for the Magic. So as we look at the Magic now for today, not really much to write home about, and this seems to be pretty standard at this point. Banchero, Wagner, Fultz, Carter. You can go any direction there. I'd say Franz Wagner looks the best because of the position. You get shooting guard, small forward, 6,400. I have no problems getting to Fultz or Wendell Carter at 6K or Banchero if you want to pay up. Probably going to have a hard time going to like Gary Harris or Suggs. They'll work their way in, but nothing crazy. They're just not a huge priority. And that's what happens when you face the Knicks. It's rarely a great spot. On the Knicks side, I'll continue to get to RJ Barrett. I don't really see a way around it. This is a 0.9-ish fantasy point per minute guy. He's going to play 37 minutes. But for reasons unbeknownst to me, he's 6,300. I mean, I guess the consistency is the problem here for Barrett. Some days he'll play 27 minutes. The others will play 41. But if RJ Barrett is playing today, to me, he's very clearly the best Knicks option. I don't really see another way around it. After that, you kind of play anybody that plays real minutes. Brunson, Randall, Grimes, Hartenstein, Quickly to an extent. If you don't like Barrett, then you should probably just like Quickly by default. They're sort of the same guy. One of them's going to get the minutes. I just tend to project Barrett like he is. Not too much in that first game. Go to the second game. Oh, cool. Brooklyn on a back-to-back. Didn't know that. That's fun. That's really fun. All right, for Phoenix. Guessing Phoenix is normal. No Landry Shamet. Oh, yeah, Devin Booker is back, so we can cut everything on out of here. D-Book back after that left groin strain. Still no campaign. So let's get this projected out. Chris Paul is going to come in. I think we're good for 33 minutes on Paul. And then we're certainly going to get DeAndre Ayton out there for 31. The question is, how much does Devin Booker play? I'm going to give him 30 minutes. I assume he just starts, comes back. I mean, look, he's been out for a long time. But if he starts, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to need to give him a decent chunk of time. So I'll give him 30 for right now. That'll allow him to go to Bridges for 36 like he normally does. And then finally, we're going to get Cam Johnson. So we're going to get the real starting lineup for, if Booker starts, we're going to get the real starters for Phoenix for the first time in a while. Be prepared, guys. This Suns team's about to go on a run. They just are. We're going to go, I'm going to say 28 minutes for Cam Johnson. I think this is where it starts to just get real again. And they stop messing around. So we got Jock Landale as the straight backup over the past two games. It's not even straight backup, is it? It's close to it. But it hasn't been totally. So let's go ahead and get Jock Landale in for 15. We'll get Dario Saric in for 20-ish. I'm going to assume Saban Lee maintains the backup point guard run with no campaign. Which means that I need to get minutes for Torrey Craig and Damian Lee. Okay. Maybe I'm giving Saric too many minutes. I could see him getting worked back out of the rotation. I think Ish Wainwright's done. Get like 14 out of Torrey Craig. Do something like this. Got to give those minutes to Torrey Craig. Whoops. We got 18 to Torrey Craig, 14 to Damian Lee. I don't totally love that, but those guys aren't going to matter. Rates do have to change, though, with Book back. Been a while since we projected Devin Booker in. So we'll go ahead and say games where Chris Paul played, Devin Booker played. I guess I'll say DeAndre Ayton played. And then we'll take campaign off. Now, let's go ahead and get these rates in. Campaign, I don't think has played with these guys. Cam Johnson, rather. So I'm just going to leave his usage rate where it is. Chris Paul, 17% usage rate in the 331 minutes he's played when Booker and Ayton have been available. Now, we're certainly not going to give Chris Paul that kind of rate. That's just not going to happen. Because I do think that he's about to rebound to look a little bit better. I'll put Bridges in then for, he was at 16.5. We'll go 17.5. I'm assuming Phoenix is going to look awful here, and everything that I'm doing is going to be largely useless, but we're about to find out. I mean, that's our rotation for Phoenix. Now we need to think about Brooklyn. What do we know? So, Dinwiddie in, Dorian Finney-Smith in, apparently. Ben Simmons supposed to play as well. So this is going to be like a true disaster. NBC Sports depth chart. What's the most recent thing they've said about Dinwiddie? Brooklyn. That hasn't even been updated. So that's fantastic work there, guys. I assume they're playing. I haven't officially seen it, so I'm looking it up now, trying to find any news. Let's see if I add Tuesday to the search. Not available Monday. Yeah, I just don't know if they're going to trade Dinwiddie again. That's the more interesting piece. Do they sit him out until Thursday to see if they could flip him? I guess I got to move all these guys around on the team too. So we want to send Markieff Morris to Dallas and Kyrie Irving to Dallas. And then on Dallas, we need to send Dorian Finney-Smith to Brooklyn and Spencer Dinwiddie to Brooklyn. I guess we just got to project them in for right now until we hear otherwise. So let's get Brooklyn done, which is obviously going to be a problem. Okay, let's think this through. I don't think Ben Simmons is going to start, by the way. I think the easiest thing that we can do is put in 33 minutes for Nick Claxton. And then I assume we get Spencer Dinwiddie straight in for like 33 minutes. Starting point guard, you don't even bat an eye. I think Royce O'Neal going in for like 30 makes the most sense. I think we get Dorian Finney-Smith playing 30 minutes. This is going to be really, really hard, man. I don't know what they're going to do from a depth chart perspective for today. Let's look at this rotation from yesterday. So we got to figure out who else is going to start. I don't think Ben Simmons is going to start today. I just don't see it. Like, I don't think he's one of the 5 best players on the team. I think we're going to get Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nick Claxton, which is not a great team. It's not a great team. Let's think about it for a second. Because I think Joe Harris then could be good for... Let's see. Played 27 yesterday with no Curry. I mean, 24 for Joe Harris? Something like that. Something like that. I'm just trying to look through this depth chart and just make sure that I feel okay about it. Because I don't know what they're going to do with Cam Thomas. That's the trickiest part of all of this. Do they start Cam Thomas over Dorian Finney-Smith? Or I guess Joe Harris as well. Because they can. They certainly can. I just don't know if they do. I don't. This is the most curious I've been about a rotation in maybe as long as I could ever remember. Oh, man. Are they... I don't think they're going to start Ben Simmons. I don't think you can. It just doesn't make... It doesn't make any sense to start Ben Simmons any longer. It just doesn't help. Like, they have the pieces where he doesn't have to start. Oh, man. And then the trickier part really is Cam Thomas. I don't have a great feel. I guess Sumner is probably going to be the backup point guard. Do they have to reward Cam Thomas, right? Does Cam Thomas just... Does he start? Does he come off the bench and close? Because those are the... Like, Watanabe's going to play the same minutes that Yuta Watanabe normally plays. Well, we need to figure out what they do with Cam Thomas and Ben Simmons. To me, I don't have a clue. I really, really don't have a clue here. So much more information needs to be added. Let's go ahead and get Watanabe in for 18 minutes. And then Ben Simmons, at the very least, the backup center minutes. Because I don't think we're going to get Day'Ron Sharpe. Now, that opens me up to all sorts of playing time for Cam Thomas. I'm going to go to 24 right now at a minimum. Because I'm assuming he doesn't start. I don't think that we're going to get a giant reduction in Ben Simmons minutes. But if he's just coming back after 5 games out, you know, I think like 24 makes some sense. Which leaves me 9 minutes left over. Which could very easily go to a split between... I'm going to take Cam Thomas up to 25. And then Edmund Sumner to 23. Look, let's not read in to anything that I have in here right now. But this is my best guess to start the day. We're not going to know any of this until later. The only saving grace we have is that this game is at 7:30 and we probably get this information fast enough. I don't even know if I want to touch rates right now. I guess, because like it's not as if Dinwiddie, it's not as if Kyrie or KD can be like proxies for Spencer Dinwiddie. And they just don't have enough minutes. Like Cam Thomas is a 28% usage guy. Ben Simmons without those guys on is still just at 16. So there's no way I'm letting him get a boost. Royce O'Neal is not that kind of guy. He gets the 14.5. I'll lock that in. I'm going to basically assume that Dorian Finney-Smith does the same thing. Nick Claxton does see a little bit of a usage bump. So I think that I feel okay going with a very heavy usage bump to Cam Thomas, to Spencer Dinwiddie, and to Edmund Sumner. Now, the only thing that I'm going to look at right now, if we go to Dallas and we look at Luka Doncic off for this year, I think that tells a lot about what Spencer Dinwiddie can do usage-wise. Spencer Dinwiddie has a 30% usage rate with Luka Doncic off the floor. I think that's a decent proxy for what we've got going today. I'm going to pop him in for 29. I think that makes the most sense. He also sees a very sizable assist rate bump, which I'm going to also take advantage of. Now, if we go back to Brooklyn and we take off Durant and Irving, apologies to Markieff Morris for not taking him off. I think the highest that I could realistically go to Cam Thomas on usage is 28. And I think the highest that I can go on Edmund Sumner for usage is going to be 22. That's going to let a bunch of it spill over to guys that I really don't think should be getting that much usage. Which means that there's a lot of usage to go around on this team for today. Dinwiddie's going to soak up a lot of it, but they don't have anybody else out there. Like, when KD is back, these low usage guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Royce O'Neal are going to be really helpful. Today, it's tricky because it's kind of caused me to over-project someone like Joe Harris. So what I need to do is take 1 minute away, and I'm going to take it away from you to Watanabe. And I'm just going to throw it onto David Duke, just so I can get Joe Harris's usage rate to be correct. And so I can get, who am I missing here? I guess I got everybody else right. So I didn't give any minutes to Patty Mills. Oh yeah, Watanabe. Watanabe can go to 14.6 like normal. That's perfect. All right, so that's going to be Brooklyn. Now, the complicating factor for today is that Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith are not in the salary pool for DraftKings yet. They're obviously going to end up there, you would think. On FanDuel, Dinwiddie's 7,900. He looks okay. Most of FanDuel doesn't look very good. They priced Cam Thomas up to 6,500. Yeah, Brooklyn's not going to try to get DeAndre Ayton over Nick Claxton at this point. I mean, I got Dinwiddie at 40 fantasy points for today. What was he at the most recent game that he played? Does anybody know? When was the last Mavs game? Is that the 5th? Was that Sunday? Nope. Was it the 4th? All right. Dinwiddie was 7,100 last time out for the Mavs. So on the off chance that Spencer Dinwiddie is 7,100, I mean, neither one of these guys are going to look all that great. I think Claxton looks good. I think Cam Thomas looks good no matter what. And I think for Cam Thomas in particular, There's a lot of upside. Like I said, I gave him 25 minutes. I don't think he starts, but I guess he could start in theory. Take a look at it. And then I think Edmund Sumner as a bench guy is viable. There's not a lot to like here for this Brooklyn team for right now, unless we get a really dumb price on Dinwiddie. We also need to look at Phoenix, who I assume looks terrible. Yeah, there are no priorities from the Phoenix Suns. My recommendation would be to avoid them pretty aggressively. Also going to take 2 more minutes away from Dario Saric and give them to Damian Lee. Just not a lot in that game. And we need a lot more news. Alrighty, what else we got? Atlanta Hawks. Now we could actually move forward like a normal person. The Hawks are 2-point dogs in New Orleans, taking on the Pelicans. 234 total. This is a stretch of 4 straight games in the mid 230s for total. Now, Atlanta is at full strength. We saw Trae Young sit on Saturday on the back half of a back-to-back. He is available for this one, which means that we're kind of just projecting this team to be like they normally are. Probably need to get a couple more minutes going to AJ Griffin. Let's get him up to 19. So that's going to be 8. A 35 in there for Trae. 37 in there for DeJounte. 33 for John Collins needs to come down. Looks like Jalen Johnson's back in the rotation again. Get him those spillover 7 minutes. Capella for 27. Okongwu for 21. Hunter for 34. All that looks good. Atlanta's fine. We would go to Pelicans. Atlanta's an easy team to project. Pelicans, I don't think, are going to be easy here. For the Pels, Brandon Ingram probable. Joe Val probable. Still no Zion, no Dyson Daniels. So with Brandon Ingram back in, we got to reproject this. He was not in on whatever day I played, Sunday. Yeah, that Murray trade to Atlanta was a terrible trade for the Hawks. All right, we get CJ in for 35. We get Herb Jones in for 33. We get Brandon Ingram in for 34. Trey Murphy goes in for 31. And then Joe Val, I don't know, man, 24? Sure. We'll have Larry back him up. Devontae Graham saw the rotation again, but that was with those 2 guys out. They went to basically an 8.5-man rotation on Saturday and a 9-man rotation on Thursday before that. I'm going to give Kira Lewis the straight backup run to CJ McCollum. We're going to get Jose Alvarado in for 20 minutes. Leaves me 26 more. And I think that's just going to be straight 26 minutes Najee Marshall. Feels a little aggressive. Feels a little bit aggressive on Najee Marshall. I need to take a minute off of Najee Marshall for sure. I guess I can give it to Kira Lewis just so it doesn't matter. Although in theory I could give it to Jose Alvarado too. Because Nance for 24 seems fine. Herb Jones for 33 seems fine. Yeah, I need to hide that on Kira Lewis. We need rates again. Because obviously when Brandon Ingram is in, it makes a difference. You'd be surprised to know that. So played in game. CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. Did not play at all. Zion Williamson. How many games have they played where Zion wasn't healthy, but the other two guys were? I think it's minimal. Yeah, 8. 8 games. CJ has a limited usage rate in that time. Okay, I guess it's the same. So I guess we're gonna go 26 to CJ here. We're gonna bump up BI to 31. Herb Jones doesn't do much. Joval's just himself. Larry Nance is himself. Giant usage hit to Najee Marshall when these guys are around. And then Trey Murphy, basically himself. I guess assist rates are going to matter here. See a little bit of a bump to both Ingram and CJ, which is interesting. But I guess the ball is going to be in their hands for most of this game. So rebounds I don't have to touch. So that's New Orleans. All right, so that's another game in the books. Whoop. There we go. All right, so for New Orleans, $7,100 Brandon Ingram looks good. Looks really, really good. I'm guessing. I don't want to bring that down a hair. I mean, Brandon Ingram looks fantastic today at $7,100. That is not the correct price for him. Joval for $5,700 is certainly worth a dice roll. Herb Jones looks good. Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum. Really, really like the Pelicans today. Really like the Pelicans. On the Atlanta end, I like $5,400 John Collins. Scares me a little bit. Just a little bit. I think Trae Young's fine. Hunter's fine. So DeJounte Murray now jumped up to $9,200. I've been talking about how he was like a great price at like 81. For some reason now he's up $1,000. So it doesn't look as good. Now you go to Trae Young over Murray. Interesting game. Get yourself some Pels. Chicago Bulls on a back-to-back taking on Memphis, 233 total. I'm not going to touch the Chicago rotation. 1, obviously they're on a back-to-back. 2, we don't know the status of Alex Caruso, but all right. For everybody else, am I crackly today? Is my audio not good? Talk to me here. Because I can mess around with it. Ooh, okay. Why the hell didn't you guys tell me earlier? Okay. Give me a second, folks. All right. Let's test that out. Do I sound any better to you guys than I did before? I'm hoping that I do. If I don't, I actually don't know if I can fix it. Because that's gonna. I don't want the audio to be bad. A lot better, much better. Hey, got it. Love it, folks. Appreciate you guys. Don't be afraid to let me know that stuff in advance. This is the process. Better to work this stuff out here on the process than figure it out on the strategy show. S&P, thank you. And yeah, you and I are on the same page for Murray. Like, I like DeJounte Murray as a player. I don't want to give up multiple firsts and swaps and stuff for a guy that I can't even extend if it goes well. Like, best case scenario for the Hawks, DeJounte Murray plays out of his mind and the Hawks are really good, and they can't even sign him to a contract extension. He has to get into unrestricted free agency, which is terrifying. You don't want that at all. All right. Bulls rotation, like I said, is just going to stay the same. No changes we can make because of Caruso. So then we go to Memphis. Glad I got the audio back. Feeling good now. No, so Murray isn't too expensive. Murray's on a bargain basement contract right now. That's why he can't extend. The extend and trade rules, or the extend rules for him, means that he can only get a certain percentage of an extension above where he's at right now. So in the best case scenario for Murray, I forget what the exact rate is, 125% of his max salary or whatever. So in the best case scenario, DeJounte Murray can play like crazy, become like an all NBA guy, but he can't extend because he's on too low of a number now, because he's going to expect to get 25, 30 million on his next contract. And it's literally impossible based on the contract rules for DeJounte Murray to be offered that contract from the Hawks. So he does not have a choice. He would either have to take way less than he can just to re-up, or to go into unrestricted free agency, at which point the Hawks are just like, oh shit, we can't afford to pay you. Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly indifferent. Like, I could see him getting a little bit more efficient. I love the defense for sure. I think there's a path for him, but the contract issue is really, really tough. Because right now, Murray is making 16. So if he wanted to extend, like, the most they can give him is like 18 or 19 or something along those lines. But he's going to sign for, he's got one more year next year. But after next year, as long as he's decent, he's going to sign for 20-something million easy. So there's no incentive for him to ever even think about playing. Like, he can't sign a new contract. I mean, this is a guy that was worth 11 wins on EPM last year. He's been worth 5 so far this season. If we just want to prorate that and say that it's 8, I mean, we're talking about 25, 30 million. It's a really tricky spot. I never loved the deal because of that contract work. If you could extend him, then it's a different story, because you're not taking on any risk then. Like, if he's really good, you get what you wanted and then you pay him accordingly. But you got the value in the first 2 years. For now, you could be left just without those picks. Trae Young bitches, Murray wants to bounce, or Trae Young bitches wants to bounce, and then you have to keep Murray at a very high number. DeJounte Murray's got a lot of leverage right now. Now, Memphis. I feel different. I feel like I'm talking clearer now that I know that I sound clearer, even though I didn't know that I wasn't clear prior to you guys telling me. Coffee's hitting, I think. Let's look at Memphis. Memphis Grizzlies. John Morant is available. No Steven Adams. Holy shit, did they really send Zaire Williams to the G League? I mean, I knew that they had pulled him from the rotation, but oh boy, I bet he is not happy. Zaire Williams, G League, on assignment, out, at least for right now. Oh, boy. All right. Well, good news is we do know how to project Memphis at this point. Ja Morant, straight in, 35 minutes. Boom. Desmond Bane in 32. Going to be without Dylan Brooks, I'm guessing. Or no, is he back already? No, Brooks had to get suspended for more than a game, didn't he? I guess he didn't. Holy shit. I thought Brooks was gone for more than one game. Hannah, I would say that the Jazz absolutely trade people. Who they trade is up in the air. They're not going to trade Walker Kessler. I'd be very, very, very surprised if they traded Lauri Markkanen. But to me, it's the opportune time to trade him. If you think that you can... Scott Foster, like the referee, you trade Markkanen now and just get a haul for a guy that would not have been traded, like clearly didn't have that value 6 months ago. Just like take that lottery ticket and take the assets if you can. I could see Mike Conley getting traded if he wants out. Jordan Clarkson, it appears they want him to stay. Obviously, Kelly Olynyk could move pretty easily. Jared Vanderbilt's the guy you hear about. I'd be very surprised to see Sexton move just because of the way that the deal went down. But for me personally, if I'm the Utah Jazz, I'm trading Lauri Markkanen and I'm taking whatever I can find. Multiple firsts. I see it as just a no-brainer option. I think that's the smartest thing they could do would be to trade Markkanen. I hope Ainge would be willing to do it. Look, you just brought in like 200 draft picks. You're not going to be good for 2 or 3 years in the West. Like, there's no incentive for you to keep Lauri Markkanen around so that you can have him when he's 28 or 29. Like, you could redistribute those assets so much better at this point. All right, let's project the rest of Memphis. Trade deadline show 1:30 p.m. Thursday from 1:30 to 3:30. Although remember, I am having oral surgery earlier that day. It might be a disaster. I might be just spitting out blood with a swollen face. We have no idea how this is going to go. All right, I'm assuming we're going to get Tillman in the starting lineup again. I'm going to go 28-20. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go 28-20. Did we get the straight split here? Tillman, Clark, basically. Jaren Jackson played 32 minutes again. I guess we're projecting Jaren Jackson for 30 minutes now. Good to see that he's been ramped up. Does Steven Adams' status make Jaren Jackson play less? Because that's really annoying. Oh, Ken, I am 100% going to be fresh off anesthesia. Like, I'm not conscious for this. And I'm going to be eating painkillers. So we're going to have some fun. And I'm only going to be able to drink things. So I assume it'll just be like a lot of coffee to try to offset all of the stuff that's making me sleepy. All right, let's get Tyus Jones in there. Let's get Santi Aldama in for 18 minutes, I guess. Maybe he gets 2 more and we get to 20. Danny Green got up to 19 minutes. No shit. Okay. Get Tyus Jones to 18. Who am I missing? John Conchar and Danny Green, I guess. Am I missing somebody obvious? No, I'm not. Oh, I didn't put Dylan Brooks minutes in. Good God. I was like, why in the world do I have so much playing time left? All right, we're going to say John Conchar plays 13 minutes and Danny Green plays 13 minutes. Now, Memphis rates, nothing could be easier. Man, I've gotten into some random ranting because we're up to 720 now. We still have 2 more games to go. This slate should have been over already. All right, so Memphis started Brooks, Jackson, Morant, Bane. I know it's not a lot of games. These guys are just never healthy together. Brooks, Jackson, Morant, and Bane have only started 13 games together this year. Okay, 148 people in here. I see somebody saying there's not enough likes. I'm just going to assume that we need more, so hit that like button. Calvin, I have to do the show. It's my favorite show of the year. I'm so mad at myself for scheduling that wrong. I just wasn't paying attention when I did it because I scheduled it like 2 months out. It's a shame. All right, Brandon Clark's usage rate when these guys start is at 18. Desmond Bane is at 25. Dylan Brooks is at 18. Ja Morant is at 33.5. Jaren Jackson is at a little over 21. And Xavier Tillman is at whatever he normally is. I assume assist rates don't really need to move, but I do want to look at Ja. Ja can go up. Bane stays. Brooks comes down. Rebounding, I'm not going to worry about. So that's Memphis, I guess. Love Ja Morant today. 10,300. Absolutely going to be paying up there. Really like Tillman at 4,600 if he's playing 28 minutes. To me, that's a really nice price tag here against Chicago. Don't mind Jaren Jackson. Don't mind Bane. Don't play Dylan Brooks. For Chicago, DeRozan, Vooch, Levine, all basically identical plays relative to salary. So good luck there. 2 to go. Minnesota Timberwolves, 8-point dogs in Denver, 235 total. For the Wolves, Q tag on Kyle Anderson, Q tag on Gobert, Q tag on Jordan McLaughlin. McLaughlin did get back for the last one. 36 minutes for Russell. Go to 35. 37 for Edwards. Seems fine. I'm going back to 36 on Russell. That's fine. 33 for Gobert. Make it 32, I guess. Prince in for 19. Anderson in for 30. Take Prince up to 21. 32 for Jaden McDaniels. Yep. 18 for Noel. 19 for Noel. And we're good with Minnesota. No rate changes there. For the Denver Nugs, they are going to need some changes because everybody sat the last time, and now everybody's back. It also means that it's very easy. Kyle, it's going to take more than Brooks Aldama and a first for OG. It'll take at least 2, if not 3. Probably 3. All right, let's get Murray in 35. We'll get KCP in for 32. Get Aaron Gordon in for 32. Actually, we'll get MPJ in for 29, so I don't get too much. And then, obviously, Nikola Jokic in for 35. Zeke Naji with the backup there. I'm assuming that we're still getting no Bones Highland, so I guess we're going to say Bruce Brown is like the backup point guard. You get 16 minutes out of Jeff Green. Bruce Brown jumps up to like 26, I guess. That leaves me 22 for Christian Brown. Be a little healthy. Is 22 too many? I don't think it is. I really don't. Although that's with KCP missing. It's probably too healthy. We'll take him to 20, and we'll leave those 2 spillovers on Chanchar. We'll pull all new rates for Denver, which is so easy to do because this team actually does have everybody start together. It's really nice to see. KCP, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. They have started a shit ton of games together. It was whatever, 12 games for those the 4 Memphis guys. 25 of the same starters for the Nugs, which is 800 plus minutes for Jokic at this point. All right, Aaron Gordon, 19.5% usage rate. Bruce Brown, 17.3. Jamal Murray, 26. KCP, 13.5. Michael Porter Jr., just shy of 21. And Nikola Jokic, 25.25. Make sure we get this assist rate right, particularly for Jokic. And I guess for Jamal Murray. Nobody else is really an assist maven out there. And then finally, we cover rebounds. Everything looks fine. So that's Denver, Minnesota. For Denver, Murray, Jokic, Aaron Gordon are my preferred options. KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown are viable. 11.6 for Jokic, though, looks pretty good to me. I like Morant better, though, I think. Forgot I got to look at Minnesota, which I assume Anthony Edwards is too expensive. Yeah, 10K for Edwards. I'm playing this one in reverse. Kyle Anderson at 4,900, assuming he plays, is probably my most interesting guy. Gobert at 6,800. Jaden McDaniels at 4,600. Edwards and Russell are just a little overpriced. Now, finally, we close it out. OKC in LA, 237 total. Thunder on the back-to-back. I'm just going to leave the Thunder rotation basically the way that it was. I don't really see a scenario where we can make any changes. Maybe they get Ousmane Dieng back for today, or maybe they don't. I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable with what I have here. Slight bump to Aaron Wiggins. Lindy Waters played. Omer Yuri was available yesterday, and I don't even think I knew about it. I think we're okay here with this rotation. Look, we're not going to play anybody other than Shea, Kenrich Williams, who probably needs even less minutes, Giddey, or Jalen Williams. So we know what we're doing here. And then we get to the Los Angeles Lakers, because this one's funny, because there's going to be narratives here. There are going to be major narratives for this one. Because LeBron James needs 36 points to pass Kareem. For the Lakers for today, everybody that's normally available is available, including Drop Rose's hero. That would be one Austin Reeves. Welcome back. LeBron's never going to be able to get this scoring title now that Austin Reeves is back. I mean, Reeves is just going to be taking every shot. The Gail Goodrich. All right, let's get Schroeder in for 34. We'll get Russ in for 28. We get LeBron in for 36. We get AD in for 35. We get... Is Thomas Bryant not going to be the backup center? So Thomas Bryant and Wenyen Gabriel split the minutes on Saturday at center, with Thomas Bryant essentially not playing. When did he get those minutes? So Bryant played 3 minutes in the first quarter and then never saw the floor again. They went to Wenyen Gabriel as the backup. There's no reason that it can't be Wenyen Gabriel today. So I'm going to assume that Thomas Bryant is not going to play today, and they're going to go to Wenyen Gabriel. I guess we're going to get Rui in for 24. We need to get Pat Bev in for, I'm going to say 26. That leaves me 44 minutes for Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker, and Troy Brown. Lonnie Walker played 15 recently. Troy Brown has been playing a lot more. I assume that the guy that gets the most minutes here is going to be Austin Reeves. So if I give Austin Reeves 18, that'll let me give 16 to Troy Brown and 10 to Lonnie Walker. Now, I don't exactly trust that, but at the same time, none of this shit matters because it's the Lakers, and we're not trying to play their bench. Rui Hachimura, so far with the Lakers, has a what usage rate? Rui's played 161 minutes, 17% usage rate. That's basically where I have him. So we're good with the Lakers. AD at 10.5 is my preferred option here. Do I mind getting to LeBron? No. Do I think that AD is a much better option? I do. Am I going to pull new rates now just in case? I am. So if we get AD starting, Schroeder starting, and LeBron starting, and we're going to say that Russell Westbrook did play. So when these guys are at relative full strength, ooh, that's my water. LeBron's played 447 minutes with those terms, 30% usage rate. Okay. Russ is at 27. AD is at 29. So, like, I'm even being pessimistic here. I like AD more than I like LeBron, but there's obviously a very healthy narrative here. Schroeder and Russ are okay options for today. On the Oklahoma City side, I assume Shea looks great. Yeah, Shea looks good. I think Ja is my favorite pay-up option. Jalen Williams and Aaron Wiggins, both very viable for today, unfortunately. Not much else here that I see. Pay down Jalen Williams center, I guess. But now we are through all of these games, which means it's time for crunches. We got to where we needed to be, a little bit slow, but we're going to be all right. Let's move these windows around. Let's hit that like button for the 174 people that are here. If you haven't done it already, please do so. And now let's run our crunches. So we'll get FanDuel Optimals in first. But before we do that, it would be my honor to talk a little bit about BetMGM, sponsor of this show. If you want to sign up at BetMGM, if you're in a legal betting state and you haven't done it before, you can get 1 free month of our Stokastic Plus Platinum package. That covers everything that we have in DFS. That's over $100 value. You'll also get first bet insurance up to $1,000. This is my recommendation because I know not everybody has $1,000 sitting around to just pop into this account. If you were ever thinking about signing up at Stokastic, take the money that you would have spent to get 1 free month of or to get a month of Stokastic. I don't really remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm going to say it's 150, but we'll just use that as a number. You take that 150, deposit that into BetMGM after you click the link in the description. You can use that promo code Platinum Sub. Deposit that 150. So that's found money right now because you're getting that free month. You're applying that to BetMGM, but you get first bet insurance up to $1,000. If you win that bet, you could just take that 150 back out if you really want to and just play with the profits. If you lose the bet, you'll get that 150 back in bonus bets into your account. So you basically get 2 chances to play with it. My recommendation would be to take like a light underdog, put 150 down, something where you could win probably like 200. If it wins, great. You got 350 bucks in your account. You've got a month of Stokastic plus platinum. You can check off a lot of boxes here, folks. Now, you got to be 21 or over. I need you to be responsible. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. FanDuel Optimals. 311.63. That is the optimal lineup by 0.88. Jalen Brunson, Markelle Fultz, RJ Barrett, Franz Wagner, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Xavier Tillman, John Collins, Julius Randle. Very, very balanced. And I am honestly surprised that I don't see Ja Morant there. I think Ja Morant is going to rank much better in the power rankings than he did in the optimal. 120, Larry. Thank you. There you go. That's close. Wow. SGA coming in ahead of Ja. Oh, this is FanDuel. I'm thinking of the DraftKings pricing. I don't know what I'm talking about then. Let's see. So again, 6-game slate. Very flat ownership. I mean, look at this. The range of guys from 27 to 21. It's the whole top 10. Collins, Barrett, Brunson, Tillman, Franz Wagner, Grimes, Ingram, Randall, Herb Jones, and then Kyle Anderson just outside of the top 20. You could put those guys in any order, and I think it's completely okay. FanDuel looks really hard today. Really hard. Let's see what DraftKings looks like. For DK, final crunch before we get out of here. And I got to record some prize picks, baby. Man, I had somebody yelling at me that I need to do better on prize picks after going 3 and 5 yesterday. Like, first video, hit the 60%, still get crazy people in there thinking that you need to go 5 of 5 every day. Morons. Morons. Optimal lineup on DraftKings. This is where I think we see Morant. Yeah, we do. Cam Thomas. Now, remember, we don't have those 2 guys from Brooklyn in, but I don't think it's going to matter. Cam Thomas. And I have no idea if he's going to start or not. Brandon Ingram. RJ Barrett. John Collins. Wendell Carter Jr. Ja Morant. Kyle Anderson. And Xavier Tillman. That's scary. 279.61. That's the optimal lineup by 0.26. As we look at the power rankings on DraftKings, no surprise here for me. Brandon Ingram, the runaway best option. Can someone explain to me why he's 7,100? This is a guy who was, when he was playing in November, was in the mid-8s. He's playing starter minutes. Why is Brandon Ingram priced $1,000 lower than he was earlier this year? This is an 8K player for sure. $900 at a minimum, too cheap. $6,900 against the Lakers. He took 28 shots. Like today, 6-game slate. You get 40 plus fantasy points out of Brandon Ingram today, you're feeling okay. If he hits that 45 mark again, you're printing. No brainer. Brandon Ingram, number 1 contender for today. John Collins, 2. I think that I might just have John Collins a minute too high, but he is down to 5,400. I mean, this is the lowest price that we've seen on John Collins since mid-December, and he went on a run at that point. 3 straight games where it hasn't been great, but Brandon Ingram, John Collins, RJ Barrett, Kyle Anderson, Xavier Tillman, Herb Jones, Cam Thomas, Anthony Davis, Quentin Grimes, and Joval, rounding out the bottom of my top 10. Folks, we are done here. Another one in the books. It's been great seeing you guys today. I hope everybody has some success. Keep your eyes peeled for contenders videos. keep your eyes peeled for my new Prize Picks video. That is on the ODDSSHOPPER channel, not this channel, our ODDSSHOPPER channel. So make sure you're subscribing there as well. We're going to be doing Prize Picks content every day. Again, a reminder, I will be on trade deadline show 1:30 to 3:30 on Thursday. I am on the strategy show today with Adam. I am not on Live Before Lock or the Deeper Dive, so we've got that going. JJ, I appreciate that. Should be easy. I already had one of these done before, so I'm not too worried about it. The one that I had before was done on the bottom, though, not the top. Top scares me a little bit just because it points towards the brain, where if you're putting something in my jaw on the bottom, I feel like there's nowhere to go but just through the bottom. I don't know. It freaks me out a little bit. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you being here. I'm going to go record some Prize Pick stuff. Thank you so much. Hit that like button on your way out the door. It's been a good one. Love you guys. I'm out of here. This was The Process.